Welcome to Voice of Success. Today, we are going to talk about a sentence that looks simple, but carries the weight of an entire lifetime. 200 talks are not worth half an action. Think about that for a moment. Not one full action. Not perfect execution. Just half an action. And yet, it is still more valuable than 200 talks. In a world full of podcasts, speeches, quotes, meetings, plans, promises, and motivation videos, this proverb quietly asks us one uncomfortable question. Backhand index pointing, right? What are you actually doing? Not what are you planning? Not what are you talking about? Not what are you promising yourself? But what are you doing? Today's video is not here to entertain you. It's here to wake you up.
All right, let's jump right in. We're going to unpack a really simple but incredibly powerful old saying, one that honestly can change the way you look at everything you do.
Just let that sit with you for a second. Think about it. 200 plans, 200 meetings, all those promises you make to yourself, all of that, it's worth less than just one tiny incomplete step. I mean, that's a wild comparison when you really think about it.
And this is the part that really hits home, the key detail. It doesn't say one perfect action, does it? Nope. It says half an action. What that's really telling us is that just starting, even if it's messy and imperfect, is worth so much more than sitting around planning forever. You know, we live in a world that's just drowning in words, right? And this old saying cuts right through all that noise with a super direct, maybe even kinda uncomfortable question. It's not asking what you're planning, or what you're researching, or what you're dreaming about. It's asking, what are you actually doing? And that really brings us to what I call the talk trap. It's this huge problem we have today. We're in this age of words where it's just so easy to get caught up talking and planning, and we start to feel like we're making progress when we're really just spinning our wheels. I mean, think about it. Social media is just this fire hose of advice everyone's got to take, and we can spend hours in meetings that feel super productive. You probably know someone like this. Maybe it's even you sometimes. They spend months, literal months, on the perfect business plan, researching every little detail, but they never actually launch. They feel productive, right? But really, they're just stuck in this cozy little comfort zone. And that, right there, is a really dangerous solution. So, I gotta ask, does any of this sound a little too familiar? Yeah? These are the greatest hits of the talk trap. Saying things like, I'm preparing, or I'm still doing research. I mean, they sound so responsible, don't they? But let's be honest with ourselves. Preparation without a real hard deadline to actually do the thing, it's just a fancy way of saying we're afraid. So, the big question is, if talking is so, well, useless on its own, why are we all so addicted to it? The answer is actually pretty simple. It's because talking feels really, really good. It's like getting a little reward without having to do any of the actual work. And this is the psychology behind it all. It's something called the progress illusion. Basically, when you go around telling people about your big goals, your brain gives you this little jolt of satisfaction, almost like you've already done the hard part. It tricks you into feeling accomplished, when really, you haven't moved an inch. And when you put them side by side, the difference is just night and day, isn't it? Talking feels safe. Action is risky. Talking is comforting. Action takes real courage. One is an illusion, the other is reality. One is easy, the other is uncomfortable. And faced with that choice, is it any wonder we so often pick the illusion? Okay, so we've spent some time digging into the problem. Now, let's talk about the solution. And the beautiful thing is, the answer is sitting right there in that proverb we started with. It's all about the incredible power of just half an action. Yep, this is it. This is our magic number. Not one, not 100, just a half. This little fraction is the thing that can beat 200 talks. It's the antidote to that whole progress illusion we were just talking about. So what makes this simple idea of half so darn powerful? Well, first off, it breaks inertia. You know that feeling of being totally stuck? A half action is the tiny push that gets the giant boulder rolling. And once it's rolling, you get momentum. It's the bridge that carries an idea from just being in your head to actually existing in the real world. It's that massive, critical leap from 0 to 1. And look, a half action isn't some huge, intimidating thing. We're not talking about climbing Mount Everest here. We're talking about reading one page, sending that one email you've been avoiding, just going for a 5-minute walk. See, we all know the hardest part is just getting started. These tiny little acts make starting feel, well, almost effortless. All right, let's zoom out for a second, because this is about way more than just checking items off a to-do list. When you take action, even these tiny half actions, it has this deep, profound effect on who you are as a person. It literally builds your identity, brick by brick.
And this right here is a fundamental truth that so many of us get completely backward. We think we need to feel confident before we can act. But that's not how it works at all. You act, and then confidence follows. Confidence isn't something you wait for. It's something you earn from the actions you take. It's the proof you build for yourself, one small step at a time.
And you can see how it all connects, right? It starts with that tiny half action which creates momentum. That momentum helps you build real consistent habits. And those habits, they start to forge a new character. You're sending a signal to your own brain that says, hey, I'm the kind of person who shows up and does the work. And before you know it, you've completely rewritten your own destiny. When you look back, you realize something. The world doesn't care about our good intentions. History isn't written by the great speakers or the master planners. It's written by the doers. The legacy you leave behind won't be about what you said you were going to do. It's going to be built on the cold, hard evidence of what you actually did.
Because ultimately, it all boils down to this one simple truth. Your destiny isn't decided by some grand one-time gesture. It's decided by the small things you choose to repeat day in and day out.
So as we start to wrap this up, I want you to let this one really sink in. Use it as a mirror. If your life isn't changing, if you feel stuck in the same place, stop looking at your intentions. Stop rereading your plans. The answer, the real answer, is in your actions.
So, what's the game plan? What can you walk away with right now? It's a simple three-part framework. Rule number 1, do it small. That's your half action. Rule number 2, do it now. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. And rule number 3, maybe the most important, do it imperfectly. Don't let perfect be the enemy of done. And that leaves us with just one last, very urgent question. Forget about next week. Forget about tomorrow. What is your half action today? What is that one tiny, imperfect step you can take right now that's worth more than 200 talks? Figure it out, and then go do that.
Thank you for watching Voice of Success. If this message spoke to you, like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to stop talking and start acting. Remember, the world changes when you move. See you in the next video.